never heard of Carnivore, never heard of Lion. Popped up on my phone, and like I was enthralled. I couldn't believe that how they cured all these things, and I had so many of the things that she was saying they were curing. So, I didn't want to die. Like, I just didn't want to be trapped. I decided to, follow her path, and I took it slow, and I went, cut out seed oils, cut out sugar, cut out as much as I could, gluten, bread, anything like that, and then just kept cutting everything out and kept seeing more improvements as I cut. The more I cut out, the more improvements, the more my brain was clearing, the more my depression was clearing. Within a week of doing that, like, everything just started clearing up, and it was just rapid from there on. And so, yeah, it's been great since.
Welcome, Stephen Lashbrook, Lash. And welcome everyone to Kiltz's Keto and Carnivore Conversations with you, which are most important to share this story. And today we have Lash sharing his story that he suffered from psoriatic, arthritis, depression, chronic pain, suicidal thoughts for over 30 years. He left his doctor's office for the last time about 2.5 years ago, refusing immune suppressing injections due to severe side effects. Discovered Michaela Peterson's story and decided to try the Lion diet. And transitioning from fasting and an animal-based diet to carnivore, and finally full Lion and healing. Transformations, 99% clearing his skin issues, less pain, and 100% reduction in depression. Experienced the best year of his life and photographed Ice Cube's new album cover. Whoa, personal achievements. And we're going to talk about Lash's story. And Lash, welcome. How you doing today?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for having me, sir.
You traveled all the way from LA. Nice.
I sure did. It was an overnight flight, and we're here early in the morning. We're getting it going.
Awesome. And telling stories is so important in healing our brothers and sisters around the globe. But tell us a little about your background and the pivotal moment that led you to walk away from your doctor's office.
Absolutely. So, went through a lot of trauma as a child. And in my teens went through some addiction, and then right after college was diagnosed with psoriasis and then psoriatic arthritis. And from there things got worse. They gave me topicals, so steroid creams and all these things to put on everywhere, scalp, and I mean everywhere. That stuff, some of it burned, and then it was greasy. You had to put it on multiple times a day. It was awful. Made your skin thinner, so you would like brush up against something and start bleeding. So I tried to get rid of the drugs and control it with food. So I read all these books on like psoriasis, how to fix it with food. Plants. They wanted me to eat plants. So I ate plants, I ate beans, I ate, stuff like that. And that obviously made things worse, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. I went back to the doctors at around 40, maybe 44 years old or so, to try and see if, because it was getting so bad, I was just trying to live a normal life, and I couldn't. So they wanted to keep giving me worse drugs, and I just kept saying no. And then I went through some UVB treatment again. That didn't help. And so the last visit to the doctor, he said, here's 2 injections. We'll try this. You don't want to do all the other stuff, but this will work. This is great. Put it in your stomach every few weeks. And I'm like, dude, what? No. So I asked him about the side effects. And so this doctor knew, I was depressed and suicidal and, miserable. And he said, yeah, the side effects are, all these things, and then suicidal thoughts and depression. And I'm like, wait, but that's going to make what I have worse, and I'm not going to be able to survive this. And you want me on this for the rest of my life. So I'm not going to let you kill me, Doc. I said, that's not something you should have on your conscience. And so I left, and I told him I was going to go home and do it myself.
Did it say on the label of the medications that death was a side effect?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And your diet for years, for initially when you were growing up, what was it?
Standard American diet, but like East Coast style. So like hoagies and pizza. I spent a few years at the beach making water ice and funnel cakes. So, I mean, I consumed a lot of that crap as a teenager. And then I tried getting better and healthier and went to like more raw vegetables. And I was eating a ton of raw vegetables throughout my life. I think spinach sent me to the hospital twice for kidney stones. I don't know. I don't know what it was. It was spinach or sugar. But yeah, so vegetables and just standard really diet, which I tried to keep clean. I never really ate like a lot of processed food or like fast food. But I did eat junk food at night to like calm the depression, and like, that was kind of my like a pint of Ben & Jerry's would be like, calm down the horrible thoughts type of thing.
Were you on other medications and drugs for other diseases besides psoriasis?
No.
And tell us a little bit about your evolution into animal carnivore lifestyle. You mentioned Michaela Peterson. Tell us a little bit about that transition.
So when I left the doctors that day to basically tie up loose ends and end my life, somehow on my phone, her TED Talk, Michaela Peterson's, I've never seen this woman before in my life. Never heard of carnivore, never heard of lion. Popped up on my phone, and like I was enthralled. I couldn't believe that what she was saying about her and her family, her mom, her dad, everyone, how they cured all these things. And I had so many of the things that she was saying they were curing. So, I didn't want to die. Like I just didn't want to be trapped in the hell anymore. So I decided to, follow her path, and I took it slow. I didn't want to dive straight into lion. So I started fasting, and I went, cut out seed oils, cut out sugar, cut out as much as I could, gluten, bread, anything like that. And then just kept cutting everything out and kept seeing more improvements as I cut. The more I cut out, the more improvements. The more my brain was clearing, the more my depression was clearing. And then I was pretty much animal-based and still eating some fruit, basically fruit, meat, and dairy. And then I had a really bad time in the, it was 2023, the holiday season. I was alone, I was miserable, and I was trying to do this, and I had nobody. And I needed someone there to, kick me in the ass, and I didn't have it. And so I kind of relapsed into my old ways. And I got really sick during November, December. My skin got worse, everything got worse again. And so January 1st, 2024, I said, forget it. I'm strict lion at this point. I can't, so there's been no looking back since then, because within a week of doing that, like everything just started clearing up, and it was just rapid from there on. And so, yeah, it's been great since.
And tell us a little bit about your animal diet, and which particular meats were you eating, and where are you now? What do you eat today?
So, yeah, I basically was eating ground beef for the most part when I started this. I didn't know how to cook any other kind of meat, really. It was really bad. So I was scared to buy like a $20 steak and ruin it, So it took me a while to learn how to cook everything. So now basically I get once a month, I order like 45, 50 pounds of meat, and half of it's ground beef, and the other half is just all different cuts. and I've learned how to cook every single different cut. And so now I'm like an expert meat chef.
And are you sharing that to the public on your social media?
Absolutely. Yeah. I share a lot of meat. It seems like overkill, but like, people like it. And, it's good. People learn how different ways to cook stuff. So
Why do you think people like it?
they're learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're teaching.
Yeah.
Is a degree in some scientific endeavor or nutritional endeavor necessary to teach healthy living?
No, not at all. Not after what I've experienced and like the life change that I've had, because, now I'm living a complete new life. And so, yeah, I want to teach everybody.
So psoriasis gone, depression gone, suicidal thoughts gone, your brain fog is gone. Anything else I missed there?
Sleeplessness, like chronic bleeding, because always itching, right? So my body itched like I had run through poison oak and then razor blades, and then somebody poured vinegar on me. That's how I felt every day in my body. And for all that to disappear, it was like the best blessing I could have ever asked for. And I did. I asked for it every day, but through all of that suffering, like I've been taught so many things about life now, and I realize all this now. My brain's clear, so yeah, it's a whole new life.
What has been the greatest change that you've seen in your life and in others' lives following a carnivore lifestyle?
Just the positive, like, outflow of wanting to share that experience with the world. I think everyone that realizes what this can do for you instantly wants to spread it to the world, because there's so many people suffering from so many things that this seems to work on everything. And just psoriasis alone is like 125 million people in this country. Just psoriasis, and psoriasis is like 10 different types that you can get. And then arthritis, there's like 10 different types of arthritis. And, all these things can be helped and disappear. And especially the mental, like people's mental is really, really curable, I believe, on this way of life.
Would you say that every human being out there is suffering the same diseases from the same cause, and we all can look at a Lion's diet, carnivore diet, even animal-based, even keto, and find significant improvements in their health challenges?
Absolutely. Yeah.
What is it? What do you think we can do to sort of help inspire more people in this important area of healing?
So, I mean, as far as what we can do is keep spreading this word. But like what I'm trying to do now is create an actual space, a place where people can come and feel comfortable about trying to learn this, and have people there that can hold their hand and guide them through this process in person. And that's what I needed. And I didn't have it. And that's why I relapsed. And Community.
And you've started a GoFundMe page and you've started a retreat. Can you tell us a little about both of those?
So, right, the GoFundMe is to form an actual retreat, and I call it Camp Carnivore. That's my nickname, but the Carnivore Healing Retreat, where I want to have a space that's in a beautiful area with fresh air and sunshine and some cabins that you can come and I can guide you through. You can stay for a week, you can stay for 3 months. Like some people need,
love it.
They need it. They need more face to face to get through the first humps of this and to learn the things they need to learn. And I just feel like there's no space like that on this planet yet for carnivores to come and feel they can safely like be guided through this process. And I just want to create something, and it's in my head. I'm being told to do this, and you know.
What is the GoFundMe page?
GoFundMe.com/Carnivore Healing Retreat.
And do you think this is sustainable for the rest of our lives, that we can focus mostly on animal products and reduce and or eliminate plants and still be healthy?
I don't see why not. There's so many long-term carnivores that are in this space that are just been doing amazing, and they don't have any issues like all of us had.
I always question, what are the toxins in meat that we're all afraid of?
I don't know.
I don't know any.
I don't.
And,
no
and
idea.
I don't know anyone allergic to beef.
No.
And when I came in today, I offered Lash some of the flowers right in front of the building to have a snack with. He declined the snack.
Yeah.
And is it as simple as plants are poisonous and animals are healthy for us to eat?
I think so. Absolutely. There's never been a better way for me.
Right.
You know?
What would you change in your life as a child and share with your parents and their parents about the possibility that our diets are deadly and it may be the cause of all of our hardship, challenges, and trauma?
Wow. That's a tough one. I don't know. You know, my mom, who has suffered from all kinds of issues, ranging from MS to different rheumatoid arthritis, all kinds of arthritis, even psoriasis. She's changed. She's gone carnivore, which is amazing, and she's doing wonderful. She's off meds for the first time in like 45 years.
Wow.
I don't know. I just, everyone needs to know this. Everyone needs to know that we ate like this forever, and everything has changed since we started eating vegetables on a regular basis. Even our jaws, our teeth, you know, everything. And look at how sick the world is.
When was the last time you went hunting and gathering for food?
I've never actually hunted. I've gathered some berries here and there, like randomly throughout the woods in my life, but
I haven't either. And in our environment that we live, there's very little food for us to easily hunt and gather.
right.
And most of what we could gather is likely poisonous.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow over the years, we thrived on the foods that we've cultivated that are the least toxic or less toxic, but they're not non-toxic.
Right.
Would you agree?
Absolutely. Yeah. So, like, every mushroom is poisonous, right?
In some way.
Right.
Yeah.
But, you know, you can eat the ones that are way less poisonous to you, right? And that's what it is with every plant. You can eat the ones that are way less, but they still affect you. And, you know, definitely, I think everybody's different and they get affected differently. And everybody's got maybe pre-existing things in their DNA that whatever, you know, like obviously myself and Michaela and the whole Peterson family, we are pretty much bound to strictly lion. I've tried to reintroduce a couple things here and there in dairy, and I can see if I have some dairy, the next day I'll have a spot come out on my skin, or I'll be inflamed more. I'll feel more pain in my knees that night. So,
Can you talk about fasting and how you use it in your healing, and if you think it's something we should all be practicing?
I love it. I honestly, I fast 18 hours a day, every day, pretty much. I'll go on a couple 2-day fast or 3-day fast here and there. And as far as the way you feel you get more clarity, and just your body feels, I was so bloated throughout my life and always gassy and like, just what the heck, I'm always farting, and like, you feel just, you have to feel it. You feel, you know what I'm talking about, because you fast often.
Last I learned, we
know how to
all
explain it.
we all fart and burp in a standard diet, but certainly farting and burping is significantly reduced, if not eliminated, in many people on a strictly fatty meat, salt and water diet, which is essentially the lion diet.
Yeah, and the bloating and inflammation. Like I lost what? I went from a 36 waist to a 29 waist. I lost 70 pounds. I didn't even realize I was 70 pounds of fat on me, and inflammation, and just, yeah.
Hey, if you're eating animal-based, you know how hard it is to find something real when you're on the go. That's why I like the Carnivore Bar. It's made with just meat, fat, salt, and sometimes a little honey. No seed oils, no sugar, no preservatives. It's shelf-stable, travel-ready, and packs 400 calories of real nourishment. Think of it like modern-day pemmican, a survival food, reimagined with high-quality, regeneratively raised beef. Whether you're flying, hiking, road tripping, or just busy between meals, this bar helps you stay fueled until your next steak. It's simple, it's real, and it actually supports how humans are meant to eat. Meet my food.
I believe that the food we eat, and since the standard food we eat is plant-based, lean meat, low fat, we have to make fat in our liver. Insulin converts amino acids and sugars to fat in the liver, and insulin's job is not to store fat, it's to make fat. If you ate fat, you would actually go right through the lymphatics and store it right away, but nobody eats fat, essentially. And even many carnivores don't eat fat. And I think that's one of our biggest problems. And I think fasting, and I do typically one meal a day. I call it 23 in 1. I'll fast for 2 to 3 days a month, and I throw in a 5 to 7 day fast quarterly, or at least twice a year. But last couple of years I've done it quarterly. It's food freedom. It's quite amazing how your body just, you learn, wow, I don't need it. Now on a carbohydrate-based, plant-based diet, it's harder to fast because the brain is like saying, okay, it's late summer and fall. It's time to get fat to survive the famine. And what are the odds that we survived famines for infinite years and they may come again?
Right.
And so we need to learn and realize that fat is our friend, and fat causes no disease. Obesity causes no disease. Really, the cause of disease is a plant, protein, low-fat diet and eating 3 to 6 grazing meals a day. But you can go 2 to 3 days without food. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, not a problem. Not a problem whatsoever,
What's your body burning for energy?
I got some fat in there somewhere because I'm eating. I eat I buy a bucket of fat every few months to add to my food. But yeah, I eat plenty of fat.
What's your favorite cut of meat?
I love a good ribeye, but brisket, man, brisket's my ultimate.
It's the best.
Like, when it's done right.
Yeah.
Man.
How do you cook it?
I don't have a smoker. I don't have anything fancy, so I have to do it in the oven. But I've learned how to do it in the oven. And it takes like 18 hours, but like,
slow cooking. What temperature?
Like 200.
Do you wrap it?
After 193, I wrap it. Yeah.
Salt it?
Oh yeah, just salt.
And you put olive oil or canola oil all over it? and kill it.
Oh gosh, canola oil. What a scary thing that is.
Tell us a little bit about faith and how faith has helped you also in your life and in the carnivore lifestyle.
Yeah, so it's super important to me. since the age of 17, when I first realized it and was first touched by God. It's been super important to realize that faith is what you need, and belief and knowing, and you got to know. Like, once you know.
Can we all tap into that?
Absolutely.
Or is it only
it's
for
in
some?
all of us. It's right here.
It's
God
within
lives
all of
in
us.
us. God is us.
Do you think
we're all part of it?
our suffering has a purpose?
Absolutely. And I didn't think so because, when you're suffering, you don't think so because you're suffering, obviously. And, you think the world is ending every day. And over the past year, since 15 months since going lion, I realized how important everything that I thought was hell that I went through is now converted into something positive, and now I'm able to go out and spread this to the world and create, hopefully, a space where people can come and I can continue to teach and share, and that's important.
What is your purpose in life?
My new purpose, so I didn't have a purpose before. My purpose before was to be a photographer, be a musician, and stay alive each day and not kill myself. That was my purpose. So I didn't think about future. I didn't think about, what's the plan for 20 years down the road? So now I have a plan. I have a future. And now my whole life is being focused on spreading this word and helping as many people that were in my condition or conditions similar to get out of it without drugs, without doctors telling you you have to do it this way, you have to do it that way, because there is a way out. And I know you feel like you're in a prison, and I know the suffering sucks, but this is a miracle, And so for me not to dedicate my life to this, I'd be ridiculous, So I would give up all 3 of my careers tomorrow to be full-time spreading this. Sorry. To everybody. That's all I want to do now. I'll still keep a camera in my hand, but I just want to spread this word.
This is an emotional journey for all of us. And our suffering and pain is somehow built into our lives. And I love you.
I love you.
And I'm grateful for you being here and time and traveling all the way out from LA to Nashville to share your story. Healing Humanity. Our good friend Carrie.
Can we talk about Carrie for a second?
Let's talk about Carrie. Let's talk about Carrie, man.
Because I love Carrie, and Carrie was the first person to let me share my story with the world. And any of you who saw that will see the changes, just from that interview and where I'm at now. He's doing incredible things. What he's doing with this documentary is so huge, and it's going to make such an impact. And the fact that he's going to continue the documentary and keep doing more interviews and bringing more people into it. And then the meetups, I got to meet my first carnivores at a meetup. I didn't meet any carnivores through this entire journey until 3 months ago. And that was in Arizona at a Healing Humanity meetup. So yeah, let's talk about Carrie.
Which is where we met.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is where we met too.
Let's talk about, community. I think that the beauty of social media is we could be alone and be
connected with our brothers and sisters around the world with a story that heals us.
Right.
We're storytellers and we're story learners. And your story is powerful, and what Carrie is doing through Healing Humanity, the movie, and podcasting, and the infinite number of people that are joining in that.
Yeah, it's big. He hit 300,000 on his YouTube. Yeah, no, he's changing so many lives. It's just crazy how each person can affect so many people in such a huge positive way now. Like, just think about the Peterson family, how many people they've affected and saved lives. I don't even think they have a clue at how the numbers are, and then what that's done for the next person, and it's just spreading like wildfire right now. And we have to share this. And yeah, Carrie's doing just great work. Great work. You're doing great work. Like all of these, Shafee, all these doctors, everybody is just doing such wonderful things, and I'm down to join the movement and spread this. Like,
is it as simple as all of us just spreading the message? And get yourself a YouTube, Instagram channel and start talking about what you've experienced in life, and the suffering, depression, anxiety, suicidality, criminality, arthritis, psoriasis, kidney stones, migraines, bowel bleeding, ALS, MS, dementia, or just go down the list of the thousands of diseases. We claim they're complicated and they must be genetically predisposed, but could it be as simple as a plant protein, low-fat diet, and we're dying from that?
Absolutely. It's that simple. Like, my grandmother had dementia, and she was a heavy carb eater, huge carb eater, and that was, my mom actually wrote a book about how we all went through it, and how my grandmother changed throughout the whole dementia. It's an amazing little book she wrote.
You got to share it. The stories in your story is so powerful and important. Is modern medicine going to change? Do you think we could change the doctors' views on keto and carnivore and help encourage them to open up to this as a modality to heal patients suffering?
I feel like it's literally just starting to crack them. Just we're starting, because at some point they're gonna have to, and they're gonna have to get out of the money grabs, and they're gonna have to get out of the I feel like so many doctors are under the control of these giant pharmaceutical companies, which are teamed up with the food companies, which are teamed up with this, and it's just this circle of money being made off of people's sickness, and that has to stop. And this is part of the reason why I'm doing this, because that really upsets me, and it has to stop. And the doctors, a lot of them, they don't know, but like, come on, like, you go to them and they just look on their tablet real quick and go, here's what you need, go get this prescription. And it's like, no, you've never even asked me anything about me at all.
Yeah, and AI is going to be diagnosing your disease, and they're going to send you a prescription or an injection of some sort, or a dissection that you're going to need in order to help you. But do these drugs heal us, or are they just masking the symptoms?
It's a big piece of duct tape, and it's awful, because you're stuck on it the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So you're stuck in the system, and you're not mentally getting any better. That's for sure. It's not going to help you mentally, and that's one of the biggest things about this lifestyle, is the mental clarity that you get. Is just, it's like I have new vision.
Yeah.
I have new eyes. Like, even they look different than they used to. Honestly, like, everything is more focused. I'm more like in touch with the universe and with God than I've ever been in my life. Like, I have a direct connection with God, and I'm literally being put on this path brick by brick, day by day now, to come out and share this like amazing thing that is so easy for us to do. It's, you know, I mean, it's hard to start, and it's hard to, you know, get through that first hump, but that's, you know, that's why I want to create that ranch retreat, is to get people through that first hump. And then once you do that, it just, the world opens up, and it's amazing.
What's he saying to you?
Build it and they will come, and they will heal. Like, you know, you see all that stuff throughout in movies and whatever throughout your life, and you don't, until you really like hear it and feel it, and it's real. Like, man, it's real. Like, man, it's just real. You know, it's the realest thing ever.
What makes you angry about what's happened to you?
The thing that made me angry was the doctors, like, knowing that I was going through hell and wanting to put me through worse hell and not even giving a crap about that at all. That's what made me angry. And the system of the money and the greed, that's what makes me angry. But that anger is all being turned into positive and spreading a different, you know, message that we can get away from that. We don't have to be in that matrix. There's a way out.
Faith and food and fasting. Faith, food,
fast.
fasting. It's
Three,
right?
The 3 F's.
That's it.
Faith,
That's it.
Food, fasting.
Fitness, exercise.
Fitness,
Well, I would say, you know, faith, food, fasting brings fitness in your life, because faith is always, what are you thinking? What's going on in the mind? Who are you talking to? How are you talking to them, right? Love, kindness, forgiveness, graciousness, and gratitude to all of yesterday. Mm-hmm. And through that, and connecting with all of us that are suffering and have suffered and will suffer more, we strengthen in that connection. I agree with you that the face-to-face. But I will tell you that I think social media is the new social medicine. It is the way that anyone suffering gets that ding. Hey, have you seen Michaela Peterson about this idea of Lion's diet? You're like, what is this, right? And it's like, wow, she has all the things that, or healed all the things that I'm suffering from. Might it be as simple as I change my diet and I'm done with the doctors?
No, I haven't been back.
Yeah. What are your ailments? What are all the medical problems going on since you've been carnivore?
I haven't even had a headache.
Wow.
Like,
no headaches?
I used to get migraines, like crazy migraines. You know, my left eye would feel like it's popping out of its socket.
Yeah.
I haven't had a headache.
I
feel superhuman. I feel like I'm reverse aging. I feel like, yeah, I feel superhuman.
I just turned 69. You're 49 years young, and carnivore is a youthifizer, right? Yeah. We go from feeling I'm getting older and more doctors, drugs, dissections, and then we realize, oh my God, I feel 15 again. Back in LA on the streets, running around, playing football, basketball, baseball, all those things with my locals, and it's a game changer.
Absolutely.
Is there anything that I have not asked you that you wanted to make sure we spoke about today for all of those that are listening and learning from you?
I think we covered a lot of good stuff today. I think that with psoriasis and eczema and like certain types of outward diseases that people can see, those people, because I was one of them, are really introverted and they're hiding, and they don't have to, and they don't have to cover up every day, and you don't have to live thinking about your skin every 2 seconds because it literally it plays in your brain every 2 seconds, and you're itching and you're constantly, it's always there, right? So those people, they have a harder time, I think, with the disease because it's so outward and people make comments. I've had the worst things said to me. I've been called a leper. I've been called, awful things. And so, I really want to help those people come out and into the light and know that they don't have to just suffer in silence. And there's so many people suffering in silence. And that's a huge thing. For me is you don't have to suffer in silence like I did. You don't. You can fix yourself.
What do you think about the fact that this isn't easy to share your story, and it could be nerve-wracking or cause for us to run and not want to share the story? And I know for myself it wasn't easy. Tell us a little bit about yourself and putting yourself out there.
So like I said, I've been introverted because of the disease.
Plant poisoning.
Yeah, and so, man, I lost my thought.
Well, we were talking outside a little bit, and this is a whole new area for yourself to be putting it out there. And I know for myself it was. I was very much an introvert. I know that when I went carnivore or keto, it helped. Carnivore, it was like, whoa, it's your brain is different.
Yeah, it's you definitely open. Like, I'm way more extroverted now. Like, I don't mind talking with tons of people now. Like, I would hide from everyone. Like, if I would have a show and I would be playing, I would hide before my show. And second I get off stage, I'd go hide from everyone because I'd also be in pain from playing. But yeah, it's easier now to share, and like you said, once the brain fog is cleared, you just want to share it. You want to tell people.
Any questions you wanted to ask me?
Man, I got thousands.
One or two is good. We're here to back and forth.
How did it first find you?
My patients, some of my patients, I'm a fertility doc, and some of my patients were doing paleo diet and getting pregnant. And I'm like, what is that? And this is about 20 years ago. And from there, I dug into it, and I did it myself because I was suffering also silently. Arthritis, psoriasis, kidney stones, migraines, depression, all these things. And I then found keto. And then about 15 years ago, I found carnivore, and I've never felt better. And everything went away.
How many kidney stones?
Oh, I probably had 3 or 4 attacks. I never had to have surgery, but I had chronic bladder bleeding and bowel bleeding forever. They all went away. Hemorrhoids went away. I had migraines since I was a kid. I couldn't read. I was ADHD, OCD, all sorts of problems that definitely going carnivore, so it's like, whoa. Keto helps many people, but I found for me, the lion's diet essentially was what I was doing, fatty meat, salt, and water. I do occasionally have some butter, some cream, even some ice cream, even a French fry. I think I do okay, and I am strong in my food freedom, and a lot of that comes down to faith and practice, like anything else. And I don't like to use the word addiction, but it's certainly something we suffer from. But my bet is we are omnivores in our evolution. We are capable of eating some plants, but they were likely small amounts infrequently. But we realized we were either going to die or eat something that, we were at risk of dying. So I think risking death is better than knowing death through starvation. So
for me, and like yourself, you found the Holy Grail. You found God, essentially. I mean, I think between finding faith and finding carnivore, I'm working on my new book called Christ Carnivore, and I believe those two are part of the ways we as humans, who ultimately are the apex predator, and meat was what we fed on 99.999% of the time for the great majority of our evolution, I bet.
Yeah, right, absolutely.
And when I meet fellow carnivores and faithivores and those that you just want to share the story, we just want to connect, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, definitely. The connections have been amazing for me. I spent the last 15 months kind of like starting my Instagram, and I'm still shy about doing videos of myself or going live, or like I'm still working on all of that. I spent most of my life behind a camera as a photographer, and it's hard to get on this side of it. So I'm really trying on the Instagram, guys. I'm also old, so I'm not good.
You're getting younger, my brother.
Well, true, but it's like hard to keep up with what these kids are doing on the. I've never used TikTok. I don't.
Haven't yet. No, I haven't either,
right,
by the way. But I would say, because I'm the same way, I don't feel, like Carrie Mann is doing all that. I mean,
He's doing so
Carrie's
good.
amazing. But I'd say, if it's hard, God is saying, do it.
Yeah.
And if you think you're going to fail, God says, do it, right? And that's the real story here.
Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna keep trying.
Lash, would you remind everyone where they can connect with you online?
Absolutely. So you can come to my Instagram, which is where I'm mainly active, and that would be carnivore_healing retreat, or carnivore_healing_retreat. I'm sure if you just put carnivore healing retreat, it'll pop up. And then GoFundMe.com/carnivore healing retreat. And then if you want to see like some of my photography, best concert photos on Instagram. Yeah. And then, that's pretty much all I am on media, social media. I have a YouTube channel. It's Carnivore Healing Retreat, or Lash the Lion. I'm working on that.
Lash the Lion.
I'm
Love
trying
it.
to get
Love
over
it.
like the whole figuring out what to do for my YouTube channel. Like I want to actively show my cooking, because people keep asking me about my cooking and all these different things. So I'm going to work on a YouTube channel. I'm going to work on getting my face out there more, and getting over the whole being on this side of the camera.
Well, I think the beauty is that everyone and anyone could share your story, and sharing your story is critical for all of us. And if you're in the keto world, the carnivore world, all of that, I think the vegan world is harder, but many people still live you could do keto in a vegan world too, by the way, but it's harder. Vegetarian's easier. Eggs, butter, cream, and cheese. That's the best, for the vegetarians. And other than that, it's fatty meat, salt water, and generally one meal a day, and faith in God every day.
That's the way.
Stephen Lashbrook, Lash the Lion, I appreciate you, and we look forward to hanging out and connecting at more of the meetups every single day. God bless.
God bless you. I love you, brother.
I love you, brother.